Riddle. Do we have anybody here for
I think most of them, if not all, so you may want to call out and see who we have. No. Oh, really? I actually remember that. Yeah, whenever you are.
I'm going to call the April 7th meeting of the West Des Moines City Council to order and invite you all to stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, please sign in, everybody.
Four members present.
Okay, Ryan, have there been any changes to the agenda?
No changes, Your Honor.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as distributed?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, the agenda is approved. Moving on to item 2, Citizens Forum. Anybody that'd like to address the council on any item that is not either part of public hearings or new business, item 6 or 7, this is your time. Please come to the podium right here. Give us your name and address for the record. We ask that you keep it to 5 minutes or less and that you keep it civil and respectful. Is there anybody in the chamber that would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? And then I will go online next. Anybody in the chamber that would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? Okay, is there anybody online that would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? Please hit *6 to unmute yourself and give us your name and address for the record. Anybody at all? Anybody out there that would like to address the council on Citizens Forum? Okay, hearing and seeing no one, I'll declare the Citizens Forum closed. We'll move on to item 3, Mayor Council Manager Report, Other Entities Update, and we are going to start with item 3A, which is a presentation from Mid-American Energy Company on the Trees Please program. All right.
Sure.
All right, go ahead, Tim.
My name's Tim Grabinski with Mid-American Energy Company. We're just thrilled to be able to present to you, Paul, $5,000 this year for the Trees Please program. We're able to contribute to approximately 59 communities, or exactly 59 communities across the state. This year, about $134,000 to be able to help communities plant the right trees in the right places and do sustainability projects. And in West Des Moines, I'd asked for a $5,000 contribution, and we're that to you today.
Nice.
Thank you.
Great.
And we're very happy to have this, and these trees will be planted in the Knowles Park neighborhood, not in the park itself, but in the adjacent neighborhood. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Tim. Appreciate it.
Trees, please. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mid-American Energy Company. Really appreciate that. Okay, that was a short presentation. We're going to move on to item 3B, update from the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce. So Catherine Harrington and team, come on up.
You want me to kick off?
Yeah, kick off.
All right. Well, council members and community, it's a pleasure. My name is Paul Scott, and I had the honor of being the board chair in 2024 for the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce. And as I think everybody on the city council and many people in the community know, that the collaboration with the Chamber of Commerce and the city of West Des Moines is truly a very, very deep collaboration. And we're going to show some information here soon, but I want to just highlight a few of those points that really reflect the partnership that we've got here in our community. First off, since 2011, over $500,000 has been given back and donated back to the community in terms of nonprofits, small businesses, and even more. In addition to that, one of the big partnerships that we have with the city is with the Raccoon River Palooza. Last year, we worked with the city and welcomed over 10,000 people to that event. And the third one was with the Habitat for Humanity Build project in Valley Junction. You guys helped with procuring the property, and then we had a lot of volunteers that came and rolled up their sleeves and helped get that fixed up for our community, or for the new people living in the community. And so really, I just want to highlight again that true partnership, and thank you very much, because without that partnership, these things wouldn't be possible. And so with that, I want to defer to the CEO, Catherine Harrington.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much. So my name is Catherine Harrington, the proud president and CEO of the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce and president of our new foundation that we formed. So appreciate this opportunity. So nice to see so many community members here. And I also have our incredible team leaders here, Tom Florian taking pictures for social media, always thinking about marketing, right? And Jared Galligan. So glad that you're all here today. At the West Des Moines Chamber, our vision is bold, but simple: to create the best city in America to live, work, and play, and as our mayor says, to also retire. And I like to add, to also visit and stay. We focus on three powerful pillars that drive everything that we do. Workforce development, like our new high school leadership academy that starts literally tomorrow, a brand new pipeline for tomorrow's leaders. Supporting our members through business advocacy, and our goal is to create the next billion-dollar business right here in West Des Moines. That's our goal. And to create vibrant community through placemaking, like the Raccoon River Palooza, our Dr. MLK celebration that we do together. So many things, it's countless. So over the past 5 years, almost to the day that I've been as president, I've had the honor of helping transform the chamber. But let me be clear, I did not do this alone. I did this with community support and hundreds of volunteers. We have 30 plus volunteers and committees and microgroups. We have hundreds of volunteers that fuel our work. Renee Hardman, I want to acknowledge tonight. She was a board leader for many years. She's secretary for our new foundation. She attends most of our luncheons. I see your beautiful self. You show up in beautiful ways to support our work. I really appreciate you. Doug is now on the board for the chamber. Thank you, Doug. We expect to see you at many events just like Renee. So really appreciate that. You all pour your heart and commitment into the chamber in our city every day. So we're incredibly proud of what we've achieved together. The chamber has earned 15 awards for our people and programs, including being named one of the top 3 chambers in the nation. We've launched dozens and dozens of
That's really awesome.
Thank you all. We've launched dozens and dozens of innovative new programs, events, and new ways to tell the story of our people and why the city of the West Des Moines is the best Des Moines. We have done such a great job that national brands want to align with us and communities want to emulate us. And the future is brighter than ever. We launched our new West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce Foundation, a legacy nonprofit designed to serve and empower future generations. Our chamber and city share a collective vision, a belief in what's possible when we dream big, work hard, and lead together. And remember, the West is yet to come. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, because we are just getting started, baby. So thank you so much, the city, for all of your support. The future is so bright. With that, we thought we'd tell the story of our 2024 100-year anniversary year, the best through video. I literally cannot tell you all that we've accomplished in 2024. It would take hours and hours and hours. So we have a video of the faces and the people that make the chamber great, and I hope you enjoy it. So here we go. Buckle up your seatbelts.
Catherine, can you hit play on there?
Play. I think I can. Paul's a techie guy. There we go. Where's the play button? Goes on for another 10 minutes. Thank you, City. Thank you. You have any questions?
I just want to say thank you. As Paul said when he came up here, we've never had a closer relationship. We've been working side by side to make this city the best city in America in which to live, work, play, raise a family, one day retire and visit and all that stuff. And there's just been a real synergy working with you guys. And we just appreciate all that you do to bring the business community and city leaders together and to row in the right direction. And we're just very grateful and thankful to be able to work with you guys and our businesses every single day. So thanks for all that you do.
I listen to a lot of national podcasts about chambers in the nation and what the kind of work they're doing. A lot of chambers do not even have relationships with their city leaders, which is phenomenally a disadvantage. We have an advantage because of what we're doing together. It's phenomenal. So,
Absolutely.
You know what I've learned now, and I've been on the board, 2 months? what I learned from you guys at that board meeting, that our footprint as a chamber is much broader than just West Des Moines.
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
There's so many people, and that speaks volumes. So,
30% of our members are not in West Des Moines. 30%.
well done.
Because we're doing great work. People want to align with us. Yeah.
Well done.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'd like to add here to the comments. I want to first of all say, Catherine, as I watched this video, I almost got tired saying how many events really happened in a year. And I think that it's well over 160. You are a total rock star with what you do with your team, and the way you have elevated the chamber. It is second to none. And so I think that what you do really elevates us, elevates the work that we do. I consider you kind of a marketing arm because you're selling the city and you're inviting businesses to want to be here. So for the short period of time that you have had tenure, and I know you don't do it alone, you have great people out there. And I want to say, hey, Tom, congratulations on
40 under
40 under 40. So we'll give a shout out to one of our leaders here, 40 under 40. Welcome to the club. I won't tell you how old I am, but welcome.
All the 42.
Yeah, so keep doing what you're doing, Catherine. You're doing great work. I admire what you do, I admire your leadership, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I'm going to continue to be a part of it.
Thank you.
And you and I get the trophy for the most selfies together.
Yes.
Continue that tradition.
I love it. Love it.
So
Okay.
congratulations on a
Thank
good
you.
year.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, up next, I'm going to recognize our Deputy City Manager, Jamie Letzring, for a presentation.
And I will in turn recognize you all. It is my pleasure to present the council with the Leading the Way Award, which the city received in recognition of our outstanding achievement in the delivery of services to our residents. This is the third time we've received this award from ETC Institute for ranking in the top 10% of local governments in the U.S. who conducted a citizen survey last year. West Des Moines received outstanding scores for overall quality of services, customer service provided by employees, and value residents receive for local taxes and fees. In addition to ranking in the top 10% for all cities in the U.S., West Des Moines' ranking exceeded the national average by more than 25% in 22 areas, including customer service, the quality of our parks, recreation programs, and facilities, overall value received for city tax dollars and fees, and the effectiveness of city communication with the public. ETC Institute began recognizing high-performing cities with this award in 2020, and West Des Moines has received it each time we've been eligible. This is an outstanding achievement for West Des Moines. Our employees have earned this recognition, and we're fortunate to have the support of our elected leaders. It's now my privilege to present you, Mayor Trimble, and the City Council, ETC's Leading the Way Award. Would you all like to have a photo?
Wow, this is unbelievable. This is a beautiful award, and it's extremely heavy as well. You would not even believe how heavy this is.
It's a good thing you got big muscles.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, let's bring all of our staff that's here up for a picture. It's gonna be one of the biggest pictures I think we've ever taken up here, but you know, we owe this award to a lot of people that are here, over the internet, people are in the back of the chamber here, that put in the hard work every single day on the front lines to provide incredible customer service, and really work to, deliver incredible services to our residents every single day. So we would not have received this award. Were it not for our staff.
Tony,
Come on, let's go.
Come on,
Get up here,
Lynn.
let's go.
Get out there.
We'll make a couple rows here. Come on, let's see a big deal.
I couldn't hear what you were saying.
That's one.
one more in case somebody's got their eyes closed. Perfect, thank you very much.
Well done, everybody. Good job.
Come on now.
You guys can come up.
We got Justin.
You're doing your job.
Honestly, we take a lot of pride in receiving this award. We thank ETC for this award, but we also, just to let our residents know, we are also always focusing on where we don't score so well and where we need to improve. That's something that means a lot to us as well, and we take that very seriously and strive to be better every single day. So, okay, moving on with, that concludes our special reports for the evening. We'll move on to mayor, council, and manager report, and I will start down to the left with Councilman Lotz.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Councilman Trevilian.
Nothing this time, Your Honor.
Okay, Councilwoman Hardman.
I think I covered what I wanted. I wanted to congratulate Tom Florin for 40 Under 40, a person that works really closely with us on a lot of things. So congratulations on your honor. And then I'm looking forward to the Theme Black and Brown Forum. A lot of work has gone into that. I want to thank the Chamber for continuing to put that on and to let all businesses know that they're welcome here in the city, with a focus on businesses that need to be lifted up and light shined on. And so looking forward to that. I know we have a proclamation and you and I are going to speak, Mayor, but again, looking forward to that. April 16th and 17th.
Okay, thank you, Councilwoman. Moving on to Councilman Hudson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of things. I just want to really reemphasize this award. Thank you to ETC for it because it's a great award. But while it is sitting up here in front of us, I think the folks in the back of the room, please share it with your departments that this award belongs to all of the city staff as well, because the work that you do is always fantastic, and it's important to understand that to work as an entire city, it takes an entire team, and that's what you all do, and you lead your department so well. So I want to say thank you very much for that. So that award totally belongs to you. The second thing is I was curious because a lot of people said, hey, what's going on at the Recplex this weekend? And then Ryan Penning and Shane Radcliffe were like, oh, it's mega weekend, because we have several mega weekends. And I just think it's important to understand just the sheer number, the sheer volume of people who come to the West Des Moines Recplex, Mid-American Energy Company Recplex, which is just off the charts when it comes to the numbers. I just wanted to share a couple of numbers because we had 7,500 visitors just last weekend alone. This past weekend that just ended yesterday, we had 10,000 visitors, include grandparents, uncles, aunts, moms, dads, include everybody. The fact that we have 5,000 transactions in a weekend at the concession stand, which means $50,000 that people spent on concessions just this weekend alone. And that's just crazy. And it's exciting because when I look at this award and when I look at not just the people who live in our community, but the people who come into our community from wherever, all around the region and probably even around the country, it just means that we're doing really great things in the city of West Des Moines. So that's exciting. Wanted to share that. And finally, had the opportunity to attend the West Des Moines Community Schools Youth Symposium a couple of weeks ago. And this was a Saturday that about 65 students from all over the metropolitan area, from Ankeny, from Southeast Polk, from certainly West Des Moines Valley as well, they came to Valley High School to really talk about community and what makes an awesome community. I was proud to lead a session that was called What Makes an Awesome City Awesome. And we did some brainstorming. And Ryan, if you would just pull that up and you can see it up on your monitor. We had about 15 students in my session. We divided up into a couple of different groups, gave them the giant Post-its. And Mr. Mayor, just so you know, this is hanging out near your office right now. And I told the students that I would present this to City Council. I would present this to you, Mr. Mayor, and here we are. They came up with a couple of different elements under community and belonging, education, housing, recreation, things to do, infrastructure and government, business and commercial. What can a city do to make their community awesome? And when it comes to young folks, I like working with young people. Certainly I teach at Valley, but it's really important to me that our young people, wherever they decide to go when they're 19, 21, 23, once they're 24, 25, they maybe see the world. They go see, I don't know, Miami, which seems pretty nice. Maybe San Diego. I'm told the weather there is always 70. That seems pretty good until you look at the housing prices and then you're like, maybe I want to have my roots in West Des Moines. So I always tell them, hey, do what you got to do. But when you think about creating a permanent home, I really hope you make that permanent home in West Des Moines, which is why I love hearing these ideas, because if they're 16 now, well, maybe we can have some of things done by the time they're 26. Fortunately, some of their ideas, we're already doing a really good job on. Their ideas of city art, their idea of having a garden. We're going to have a Legacy Woods with an amazing arboretum. Community centers, we already have community centers. Architectural designs, as they were saying, when we have like new buildings or reconstructed buildings or renovated buildings, we should have architectural design standards. And then I think, well, we have worked on those in Valley Junction at length, so we think about that. Museums, thinking about like the Jordan House and what it's going to become with Legacy Woods, historical pieces, more farmers markets, we're already doing that, but more cultural celebrations like Taste of the Junction. There's always opportunities for more things like that. Duplexes, which means more affordable housing for someone who wants to own and not rent. They had mentioned widening Ashworth. We've spoken about widening Ashworth a couple of times. They mentioned that. Oh, by the way, for the young folks at Valley High School, when we asked them how do they like 1st through 19th Street, taking it from 4 lanes down to 3, most of them say it's great because we don't feel like we're about to die. That was nice because it was so skinny before. That's some of the specific comments that we got. And I work with these students every day, and they are very blunt in their assessment, so I appreciate hearing from them. But trails, bikeability, walkability, we got a 26.2-mile marathon loop trail on its way. Someone said goats. We don't have goats. So we'll have to talk to our friends in Clive.
We've had them before. We've
had them before? Okay.
Had goats on the go. We had goats on the go before it was cool, before Clive had goats on the go.
I do not recall the goats on the go, Mr. Tremble. Maybe you
we had
remember the
it.
time, but goats was on there. Small business networking, talking about what the chamber's doing with bringing more businesses together. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff on that list, but it was really great to hear the perspective of young people aged, I think it was age 13 to 18, to hear what they want in a city. And while there's always things we can do, and we are working toward more of these things, it's amazing to hear the voices of our young people because we really, really, really want them coming back here. And if we could demonstrate to them right now that we're already doing some of these things and we're on our way for doing even more things, I think that's a way to get them back here. So, Mr. Mayor and the rest of the council, I officially present this image to you, but the actual giant Post-its are near the mayor's office. So, and thus concludes my report, Mr. Mayor.
Councilman, this is amazing. I love your excitement and your enthusiasm, and it's so important to engage our youth. So I appreciate all of the work that went into this. I know everybody up on this dais does. That's awesome. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Okay, moving on. Deputy City Manager Letzring, any other additional report?
No additional report, Your Honor.
Okay, that concludes our reports at this time. We will move on to item 4, consent agenda. Are there any items that any council person would like to have polled and voted on separately? Otherwise, I would take a motion to approve the consent agenda as distributed.
Can you pull R4, 1, 2, 3, and 4?
I will pull all of the resolutions. And what were those
You mean
again, Kim?
proclamations, correct?
I mean proclamations, yeah.
Are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. so
Motion for the remainder?
Okay, is there a second? Okay, please vote.
My nails get in the way.
4 yes.
Okay, item 4R1 is approval of proclamation for National Library Week from April 6th through the 12th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve the proclamation?
So move.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. I will read, and then we will have those that are here for this meet us. Well, you know what? Let's do them all. Let's do all four, then we'll do the pictures after. All right. Whereas public libraries provide the opportunity for everyone to pursue their interests and passions and engage in lifelong learning, allowing them to thrive and excel. Whereas public libraries have long served as trusted institutions for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, income, social status, or socioeconomic status. Whereas public libraries strive to develop and maintain programs and collections that are as diverse as the people they serve and ensure service and access for all. Whereas public libraries adapt to the ever-changing needs of their communities, continually assessing and evolving their collections, services, and partnerships. Whereas libraries play a critical role in the economic vitality of communities by providing internet and technology access, literacy skills, and support for job seekers, small businesses, and entrepreneurs. Whereas libraries are accessible and inclusive places that promote a sense of local connection, advancing understanding, civic engagement, shared community goals, and common ground. Whereas libraries are cornerstones of democracy, providing a neutral venue for the free exchange of information and the respectful exploration of differing viewpoints and ideas for all, whereas libraries, librarians, and library workers are joining library supporters and advocates across the nation to celebrate National Library Week. Now, therefore, I, Russ Trimble, Mayor of the City of West Des Moines, do hereby proclaim National Library Week, April 6th through the 12th, 2025. During this week, I encourage all residents to visit their library to explore the wealth of resources available. Signed this 7th day of April, 2025. Okay, is there any discussion on this proclamation? If not, please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to item 4R2. This is approval of proclamation for National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 13th through the 19th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve the proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, and I will read. National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 13th to the 19th, 2025. Whereas emergencies can occur anytime that require police, fire, and emergency medical services for the cities of Clive, Norwalk, Urbandale, Waukee, West Des Moines, and Windsor Heights. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from residents and visitors who telephone the Westcom Emergency Communications Center. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first critical contact our residents and visitors have in their time of need to start the emergency support services cycle. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are the vital link for our police officers, firefighters, and paramedics by monitoring their activities by radio, automated vehicle location, and providing them information and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of Westcom have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each public safety telecommunicator has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their profession. Now, therefore, I, Russ Trimble, Mayor of the City of West Des Moines, Iowa, do hereby proclaim the week of April 13th through the 19th, 2025, to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of West Des Moines, Iowa, in honor of all public safety professionals whose diligence and expertise keep our city, residents, and visitors safe. Signed this 7th day of April, 2025. Is there discussion on this item? Okay, please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, moving on to the next item. Item 4R3, approval of proclamation, Minority-Owned Business Day, April 17th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve the proclamation?
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded, and I will read. Minority-Owned Business Day Proclamation, April 17th, 2025. Whereas the city of West Des Moines celebrates the resolve and ingenuity of minority-owned businesses and the contributions they make for our local economy and community. Whereas according to the Small Business Administration, there are more than 1 million minority-owned businesses in the United States, which represents 21% of small business owners and accounts for over $1 trillion in revenue. Whereas we realize the strength of our community's robust economy is dependent on the diverse offering of services and providers to meet the growing demands. Whereas we actively work with the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce to promote entrepreneurship through innovation, mentorship, and expanding access to networks through the Athene Black and Brown Business Summit presented by Wells Fargo. Whereas supporting these businesses fuel economic prosperity for all, creating job opportunities, closing racial wealth gaps, and building opportunity for the American dream. Now, therefore, I, Russ Trimble, Mayor of the City of West Des Moines, do hereby designate Thursday, April 17, 2025 as Minority-Owned Business Day, and I call upon the residents of West Des Moines to recognize the contributions of and provide support for minority-owned businesses. Signed this 7th day of April, 2025. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay, please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, and our last proclamation honoring Arbor Day, Friday, April 25th, 2025. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. I will read. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska, and Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, reduce summer heating costs, beautify our community, and provide a source of joy and renewal. Now, therefore, I, Mayor of the City of West Des Moines, do hereby proclaim Friday, April 25th, 2025 as Arbor Day in the City of West Des Moines, and I, Mayor Russ Trimble, urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day and support efforts to protect and maintain our trees and woodlands and to plant trees to promote the well-being of this and future generations. Dated this April 7th, 2025. Okay. With that, please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, and then let's get the groups that are here for these proclamations to join us down front to get pictures. We will do the library first, Minority-Owned Business Day second. I'm sorry, is that the order we did them? No, sorry. Telecommunicators Week second, Minority-Owned Business Day third, and Arbor Day fourth. All right, the council will join me down here.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you for serving. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, next up, National Public Safety Telecommunicators. All right, Chief. You guys get in the middle.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right, Minority-Owned Business Day. Anybody here for this? Chamber folks, come on up. Audrey, come on up. Tom Florian, in the middle here. Come on, Tom. Catherine, in the middle. Audrey, come on up. You guys, I'm gonna go next to you.
Everybody here? We see everybody? All right. 3. And 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it for being here. Thanks for all you guys do. We'll see you on the 17th. Okay, Arbor Day. Where's Paul? Yeah, Paul and Gary, get up here. All right, you guys get in the middle. Gary, get in the middle.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, everybody, for being here. That's quite the number of proclamations that might set a record. All important things to celebrate. Okay, moving on to item 5, old business. Item 5A, West Grand Business Park, south side of Grand Avenue at approximately South 60th Street, amend the West Grand Business Park Planned Unit Development Ordinance to modify regulations for Parcel 5, West Des Moines Entertainment LLC. We've got an ordinance amendment for approval of the second reading, waiver of the third reading, adoption of final form. There are no outstanding issues and no changes from the previous reading, which was adopted unanimously by the council at our last meeting.
Motion to consider second reading.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
4 yes, an ordinance to amend the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2024, and ordinance numbers 1373, 1812, 2299, 2359, 2360, 2446, 2460, and 2462 pertaining to Plan Unit Development District regulations and guidelines.
Motion to approve the second reading.
Second.
Okay, please vote.
4 yes.
Motion to waive third reading and adopt in final form.
Second.
Please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, item 5B, ordinance amendment, amend Title III, Business and Licensing to modify regulations pertaining to the sale of fireworks. City initiated. We've got an ordinance amendment for approval of the second reading, waiver of the third reading, adoption in final form. There are no outstanding issues and no changes from the previous reading, which was adopted unanimously by the council at our last meeting as well.
Move consideration, second reading.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
4 yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2024, Title III Business and Licensing, Chapter 14, Sale of Fireworks pertaining to the temporary sales of consumer fireworks.
Move approval, second reading.
Second.
Please vote.
4 yes.
Move waiving the third and adopt in final form.
Second.
All right, please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, item 5C, second reading, waiver of the third reading, adoption of final form, proposed city ordinance, Title IV, Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 5C, Solid Waste Control, modification. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, you're okay. Okay, so we've got an ordinance amendment for approval of the second reading again, waiver of the third, and adoption of final form. There are no outstanding issues. There's no changes from the previous reading, which was also adopted unanimously by the council at our last meeting.
Motion to consider a second reading.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
4 yes, an ordinance amending the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa by amending Title IV Health and Safety Regulations, Chapter 5, Article C pertaining to solid waste collection charges.
Motion to approve second reading.
Second.
Please vote.
4 yes.
Motion to waive the third reading and adopt in final form.
Second.
Please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, item 6, public hearings. Item 6A, we're being asked to continue to the April 21st City Council meeting. Can I get a motion to
So moved.
continue this item?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, item 6B, this is a time and a place for a public hearing to consider not to exceed $11 million in general obligation, capital loan notes, general fund initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice was published?
March 25th, 2025, in the Des Moines Register.
And have you received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody from the audience who'd like to address the council on item 6B, please come to the podium here, give us your name and address for the record. Anybody online, hit *6 to unmute yourself and do the same. Is there anybody either in the chamber or online that would like to address the council on item 6B? Okay, hearing and seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got a resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action on not to exceed $11 million in general obligation capital loan notes. Do we have a motion to approve the resolution? Sorry. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the dais?
One quick comment, Your Honor. You know, these types of things go through F&A where Councilman Hudson and I are considering them. This is a unique one in the sense that the markets are in such a place right now where we can actually get the money easier, faster, cheaper through a private loan from a bank that is headquartered likely right here in West Des Moines. So it was a nice opportunity to give some business to a local bank and not have to go out into the marketplace and be able to do it in a way that is very, very, very cost competitive.
Thank you, Councilman, and we appreciate you and Councilman Hudson vetting all these before they come to the council for consideration. So thank you for those comments. Is there any other discussion before we vote? Okay, please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, item 6C. This is a time and place for a public hearing to consider Mill Civic Parkway reconstruction, South 91st Street to South Grand Prairie Parkway, initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice is published?
March 21st, 2025, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody from the audience that would like to address the council at item 6C, please come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record. Anybody online, please hit *6 to unmute yourself and do the same. Is there anybody either in the chamber or online that would like to address the council on this item? Okay, hearing and seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got two resolutions and a motion we can take at the same time, and there are no outstanding issues.
Motion for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, item 6D. This is a time and a place for a public hearing to consider Raccoon River Park Trail reconstruction project initiated by the city of West Des Moines. Ryan, would you please read the date the notice is published?
March 21st, 2025, in the Des Moines Register.
And have we received any written comments to this hearing?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, anybody in the audience who would like to address the council on item 6D, please come to the podium, give us your name and address for the record. Anybody online, hit *6, not #6, but *6 to unmute yourself and do the same. Is there anybody either in the chamber or online that would like to address the council on item 6D? Okay, once again, hearing and seeing no one, I'll declare the public hearing closed. We've got two resolutions and a motion, which again, we can take at the same time. And this item, I just want to mention, was also ranked the highest item for the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. And it was also approved unanimously by the Finance and Administration Subcommittee and the Public Services Subcommittee.
Motion to, make the motion to pass the resolution and motion and resolution, because we can do them all together.
Yep, we can do them all together. All right, so it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
One quick comment. These types of bike trails are incredibly awesome. I was talking to a council member from another city, and they had revealed to me they weren't really budgeting to maintain these things, so I'm really glad that our city does that to keep them nice. So thank you for all you guys do in the Parks group. So Parks Department, Ryan, thank you.
Especially such a high-profile one and highly used one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
there
been a
are
few years.
so many people that use this trail. This is like one of the greatest amenities that we have in this city. I absolutely love it. My wife and I walk around there as often as we can. Sometimes I see Councilwoman Hardman walking around there. I'm glad we're making the trail 12 feet in that area over by the playground and stuff because it gets, it's very highly trafficked over there. So, okay, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, item 7, new business. Item 7A, plat of survey, parcel 2025-23 and parcel 2025-24, 5745 Raccoon River Drive. Approved plat of survey to create 2 parcels, JCG Equity LLC. We have got a resolution for approval and release of the plat of survey and approval and acceptance of legal documents, and there are no outstanding issues. There is, however, one condition of approval related to the applicant and the property owner acknowledging that they or future owners will be responsible for future public improvements on the sites. Can I get a motion to approve the
So moved.
resolution?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there anybody in the audience or online that would like to address the council on this item? Is there any discussion on the dais? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
4 yes.
Okay, item 7B, FY 25-26 hotel motel allocations. We've got a resolution approving the FY 25-26 hotel motel tax allocations, and there are no outstanding issues.
Motion to approve?
Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there anybody in the chamber or online that would like to address the council on item 7B? Okay, hearing no one, is there any discussion on the dais?
I'd just like to thank the committee. I know that it's a lot of hard work putting this together and, you know, plugging in the puzzle pieces with limited resources and so many deserving organizations. So appreciate the work that the committee put into it.
Yeah, thank you, Councilwoman. Certainly, the fact that so many organizations want to apply to either do events or have capital improvements to improve the things that they're already doing, I think it makes a big difference that these organizations are here in the city of West Des Moines, doing things in the city of West Des Moines. And I imagine some of the work that those organizations do probably helped to lead this to this award as well that's sitting right here in front of the mayor. So it's always tough, especially when sometimes actions and things that are outside of our control are kind of limiting our budget flexibility, and thus perhaps awards aren't as big as they once were. But I think that's just the nature of where we're at right now in the moment. But really, really grateful for all of those organizations to be doing wonderful things in the city of West Des Moines. So thank you.
Yeah, I would just echo the comments of Councilwoman Hardman. Really appreciate you and Councilman Lotz, you know, bringing in all the applicants, and appreciate staff advertising that, getting it out to all of the different incredible organizations in our community that take advantage of this funding, and giving them that opportunity to come in and make their presentations. And I think you guys have really done a phenomenal job with these allocations, allocating the money as you have to these different organizations. And Councilman Hudson, as you said, you know, this isn't easy. I mean, we have 3/7 of our hotel motel tax at our discretion, and, you know, we allocate some of this funding to great organizations in our community that do amazing work. But we do have to take a look at some of the essential services and functions that the city provides, and we've had to do that now more than ever. And so we're taking a look at that. We've been cutting back little by little on these discretionary allocations over the years. And, you know, I want to send a message to the people that apply for these funds. You do phenomenal work and we want to support you, but we will be reducing these allocations year by year. So plan accordingly. and thanks for what you do, but it's just a necessary thing that we have to do. So thank you guys for all the thought that went into this. Are there any other questions, concerns, discussion on the dais at this point? Okay, hearing none, please vote.
Three yes, one abstention due to potential conflict of interest.
Okay, moving on to item 7C, Amendment to City Code, Title 5, Police Regulations, Chapter 3, Animal Control, Section 2, Definitions, and Section 14, Apprehension and Impoundment, to clarify animal control's trap, neuter, return process. We have got an ordinance amendment for approval, the first reading, and there are no outstanding issues.
Motion to consider first reading.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Now I will ask, is there anybody in the audience who would like to address the council on item 7C? I'm guessing that there are. Come on up. Come on up, Britt. Britt, please give us your name and address for the record.
Britt Gagne, 3505 Mill Civic Parkway, 1209 Grand, 1211 Grand, all in West Des Moines. The city of West Des Moines continues to fail taxpayers and animals in need, leading the way in wasteful, ineffective, and irresponsible spending. In 2023, the city ended its partnership with Furry Friends, a West Des Moines shelter that invested thousands of volunteer hours, millions of dollars supporting West Des Moines residents and their pets. The city instead chose a new partner that provided only a fraction of those services. Unsurprisingly, that partnership has already collapsed. Once again, the city failed to provide adequate funding to that partner while overspending on city employees who provide very few services. While Furry Friends served the city, it took over 900 West Des Moines animals annually, 2/3 strays, covering routine emergency vet care, spay and neuter, vaccines, building shelter buildings, and even filling in for the duties of the city employees. Furry Friends got 5% of the budget. 95% went to city employees and field equipment. This was one of 3 issues raised to the city by Furry Friends in 2023. It wasn't addressed, and now this is the cause of another failed partnership. There's no meaningful partner left. Animals in West Des Moines are again at risk. In a striking twist, we are here today as the city is now attempting to revise its trap, neuter, return TNR ordinance. TNR is a humane and evidence-based practice for managing feral cat populations, allowing unsocialized cats to live out their lives outside after being sterilized and vaccinated. TNR, properly implemented, is meant for unsocialized feral cats, those who are like wildlife and they do not thrive when they're in contact with humans. I drafted the language of the current ordinance, properly defining that program for those animals. City animal control officers and police department fought against this program for over a decade, another one of 3 issues raised by Furry Friends in 2023. Ironically, the city now seeks to use this policy to cover a way to release socialized adoptable pets back onto the streets if unreclaimed. That's not TNR. It's irresponsible and it places pets in harm's way. This dangerous proposal is a direct result of the city refusing to invest in proper shelter care. Despite state law and promises to constituents, the city has yet to spend a single dollar on vaccines or veterinary care for impounded animals. I pulled the record. The only purchase for medical was euthanasia drugs. Let's be clear. West Des Moines has a $500,000 budget to address animal welfare. There is no excuse for this level of mismanagement. The city is now proposing a policy that prioritizes convenience for staff over the welfare of adoptable pets. It's irresponsible, it's dangerous, and inexcusable. Instead of creating laws that put pets at risk, do better. Animals and citizens of West Des Moines deserve more.
Britt, I've actually got some questions for you. Tell me the things that you don't like about the ordinance that we've got before us tonight.
When I drafted this ordinance and when it was put in front of city council and I came for any questions, the purpose of this ordinance is to deal with those unsocialized or feral cats.
Sure.
It is not intended for domesticated animals. What is in front of you removes that TNR is for feral cats. It changes the definition of community cats to be any cat that the city employees just don't know how to deal with. That is dangerous. There is no need for that definition to be removed.
Why is that dangerous?
Because adoptable pets don't belong to be put back on the streets. If we're spending $500,000 on animal control, the outcome shouldn't be that we just put the pets back where the city officers ended up picking them up from. They can be hit by cars. They are not used to being outside.
But these
like
pets
the
will
feral
be, these
cats.
pets will be adoptable. These pets will be adoptable, right? For a period of about 14 days that somebody can come and adopt these cats?
I guess that was a little confusing
Well,
to
that's-
me in
that's
terms
the way
of
I'm reading it.
what was read, because,
Which is twice as long as it was before.
well, no, actually, the pets are unadoptable during the time frame in which they need to be held for an owner to potentially come back to pick that animal up. And so what I think you have proposed is a due process issue and waiting for a lawsuit with the city, because it's indicating that an owner has between 7 and 14 days, not really specifying which one, I guess it's just up to the city which one, to reclaim their animal. In the time frame that they're reclaiming the animal, the city is not allowed to decide to do optional surgeries like spay and neuter. Either the animal is the property of the city or the animal is being held waiting for an owner to be reclaimed. So quite frankly, I'm not positive what the city is actually trying to do here in saying that the stray hold is now not less than 7 days, but not more than 14 days. You guys wouldn't have any authority to be able to do anything like those spay and neuter surgeries, although vaccinations are required by your IDALS license and are not being provided. Those can occur. Those should be occurring. They're not occurring. But spay and neuter, which I can give you a good idea of the fiscal note, it certainly isn't going to save the city any money. And perhaps had the city invested in that veterinary care to begin with, it wouldn't have lost maybe either partner, but certainly probably not the most recent partner.
But you're saying if we find somebody's cat, if this is a community cat that belongs to somebody, we get this cat, we should spay or neuter that cat, the taxpayer should pay for that.
That's what the proposal is. The proposal is that you guys will foot the bill.
No, it's that we're going to wait and find out if it's adoptable or if it's somebody else's pet before we do those things. I thought that's what you just said.
Is that it seems like you're indicating to me that you think between day 7 and 24, that's when that's occurring.
But what you're saying is we should do spaying and neutering before we figure out if this pet belongs to somebody.
No, I'm saying you cannot do that because you cannot make those decisions about somebody's animal until it becomes city property. You don't have the ability, if you need to do that, because that animal is going to lose a limb or lose its life. There's some exceptions there, but otherwise you can't make a permanently altering decision on somebody else's animal until it's city property. So I don't know, are you guys saying that now you're gonna hold people's animals for twice as long? And then after the 14 days you've held that animal, then you guys are going to elect to get spay and neuter, and then you are going to hold that animal for adoption? And at what point in time are you gonna put that animal back out on the streets? Quite frankly, it's a little confusing. I'm not sure about that, but what I am certain about is the definition of community cats has been modified and manipulated to serve a gap in services that the city had the opportunity to address multiple times. It still has other vendors that it can address that with, but instead it's not, and it's not prioritizing the true cost of shelter care for those animals.
Okay, with that, why don't we get Gary Rank to come up and address some of these concerns, answer some of these questions. And Gary, why don't you start off with giving us a lowdown how we got here, and then maybe cover some of the areas that Brett mentioned.
Anyway, Gary Rank, Interim Public Services Director. The policy that we're putting back before ordinance change, we're asking for is, to clarify one thing here, is the amount of hold time. If it's an unknown cat and we know it's not an unknown cat, our hold time has been 4 days, then we can go ahead and do what we need to do with that animal.
Gary, can you say it one more
So,
time? I
right,
missed
help
that.
us understand that.
It's
So
a
under
4-day hold.
current law,
Yep.
it's 4 days. So we will hold the cat for 4 days.
Yep, if it's deemed that there's no owner. 7 days if there is. We're adding an additional 7 days on top of that, which is a total of 14. If nobody comes forth at the 7th day, we're going to hold an additional 7 because it's a tame type cat. We're going to attempt to adopt it,
And why are we giving it this additional time?
so we can attempt to adopt out that cat.
So that would seem like a good thing.
Yes.
I don't understand why that's being made to be a bad thing. I can't comprehend that. Okay, so we're lengthening the time to be able to have somebody come, claim this cat, adopt this cat,
Yes.
doubling the length of time.
Yes.
Compared to current policy.
Happens after 14 days.
We will make sure that cat is non-reproducible. We'll enter it back into the environment where it came from.
So when you say non-reproducible,
Spay and
We
neuter.
will alter that cat.
so at 14, on the 14th day,
Yes,
you will spay and neuter the cat.
yes. Because there's no owner that has came forth to claim that cat.
So after 14 days is a spay or neuter. Okay, and then they're taken back. Where's the cat taken?
It's taken back to where it was picked up from.
Gary, are we presuming that this cat does not have a collar?
If it has a collar that we can identify it, it's posted on our basically Iowa Pet. It's also located on our website. It'll be located out there where people can search for that animal. If they want to reclaim that animal, of course, they call Westcom, they call us. If we have the animal, we'll let them know. If it's been microchipped, we'll scan it and attempt to reunite pets and owners.
So we're giving a longer time for somebody to be able to claim their cat, and in the meanwhile, we're not making any decisions at that point in time while we have the cat in our possession.
No.
That would make
decision.
sense to me. And then talk to me about, and maybe this is a future phase, but my understanding is we're going to be able to have way more space for the cats that we trap and bring in than we ever have with Furry Friends or A. Hines 57. Is that correct?
I can't tell you about all of that. I can tell you
Okay.
that we should have an adequate amount of kennels to take care of what we have coming in.
Okay. Okay, so Gary, again, where are we not being, I'm just trying to understand where we're not being friendly to the pet. I
think
can't,
we
this
are. I
seems
think
like an
we're being-
improvement in the policy.
I think we're being responsible. There are communities around us that are not going to do anything with cats. I think ours is a responsible move to at least reduce the breeding pairs if at all possible. Those cats got introduced to the environment in our city and other cities by irresponsible pet owners.
Okay, and the definition of community cats that's being changed in this ordinance, talk to us about that.
And again, if you look back, we have researched some of the areas around us. Again, other communities don't do anything. Des Moines has changed theirs, that community cats are just out there, no different than wildlife. And that's exactly how we're going to treat those cats, at least. They will go through the veterinarian, they will be TNR'd and reduced, or returned back to the environment from which they came.
One quick question. So you mentioned other communities you've researched. What does Waukee do?
From my understanding, they're not going to do anything with cats. They're not even going to answer cat calls.
Do you know like what Ankeny does or Altoona?
I have no idea what Ankeny is doing at this
But Waukee just doesn't even
point.
address
Waukee
it.
is not. Des Moines
But
is
you're
not.
saying there's a number of cities around us that don't even have this program at all.
I can't tell you how many have it. I just think ours is fairly responsible. I can
Okay.
tell you then that what I've heard from Waukee is they're not doing it.
Gary, I'm confused. I think everybody up here is confused because we're all animal lovers up here. We all want to do right by the animals in our community and by their owners. We've tried to do that on every single decision that we've made regarding animals, and yet here we are being demonized, and I can't understand where what we're doing here makes it worse for pets.
And you know, the cost, when I look at cats, just the holding of cats and the expense that we had on cats alone, last year alone was, I believe it was 11,600. And does that cover everything? We've had cats that we held for additional periods of time because there was an owner that could not come and pick up the animal. I think we're being very responsible, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
Check to see whether the cat is as a chip.
We can check that.
So you do that?
Yes, we do.
Gary, it seemed, oh, go ahead, Councilwoman.
I was just gonna say, why, so tell me again, the change, today it's 4 days. Today we trap a cat and it's 4 days to try to find
4 days if it's a proven unowned feral type cat.
proven unowned feral
Yep.
type cat.
If it's,
4 days.
if it appears to be owned or has signs of ownership, we'll hold that cat for 7 days.
Okay,
And what we're saying here is if it's a tame cat, we'll hold that cat for an additional 7 days for a total of 14.
Proven signs of ownership, typically that's a collar, right?
Collar, microchip.
It is a requirement of the city of West Des Moines, if you have a house cat, to have a collar, is that correct?
I can't tell about collar, but definitely licensed.
Okay, so licensed, and typically licensure would imply a collar. In almost all cases, they're going to have a collar?
Normally.
Okay, so in which case, you find a cat, it has a collar, there you go, and typically it's really, really easy to find.
Normally, I mean,
the owner is really easy to find, right, because it's on the collar.
it depends on where they're from. If they're in the apartment complexes and they're moving building to building, we can normally get them tracked down, but it may take us a few extra days.
But there's effort in there to try. So,
we'll make a
but when it
reason.
comes to a feral cat, which is what we're looking at here under the community cat definition, obviously it's changing potentially a little
Yeah.
bit, but this is a cat without a collar.
Normally,
Are there feral cats that do have collars?
I've not seen one.
Okay. So, okay, that's all I want to know.
So who makes the decision to keep the cat? Who makes the decision of keeping the cat past 7 days?
I do, or my designee, which will be my staff.
Okay. So if it's less than 14 days, somebody is approving that?
If somebody could come in and they own that cat, it's past the 7, but not the 14, they say it's their cat, then we'll relinquish that cat back to the owner after they pay the appropriate fees.
okay. Well, this is a head scratcher.
Well, is there just a random, and I know there's a lot of folks who love animals and love cats in the audience, and I'm glad you're here. I mean, it seems like we have two kinds of cats. Cats with a collar, who are typically owned, who are typically house cats, we'll call them for lack of a better term. I'm sure there's better terminology. It's not my area. And then there's feral cats who do not have a collar. Is there just this random third category of house cats who just don't have a collar?
For sure, for sure.
All right, but
Yeah.
But would that not be, well, I guess, Greta, is there a policy that house cats are required to wear collars?
Leashes, yes. Hold on, everybody. We don't
Sure,
want to be
sure,
yelling
sure.
stuff from the audience. Julie, you kind of started it.
For dogs?
If you got
a
something to
collar.
say, come on up here. But, I mean, this is, we want to do right by the animals in our community. We've always wanted to do right by the animals in our community and by their owners. I'm failing to see where this isn't a better policy than what we have today.
Britt, can I just ask you one quick question? And if you want to come up
Yeah,
here.
come up.
And so I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. Is it this third category of cats that you're most concerned about? The category of cats of like a house cat that would normally have a collar, but because of stubbornness, because they got it off, and now they're outside, but they're a house cat. It's this third category versus a feral cat who will not have a collar. Is it this third category of cat that you're primarily concerned about, that we're going to get it, and then we're going to spay and neuter it without the owner's permission? Please.
I would say that there's two different categories of cats. Some house cats have collars, some don't. I guess that would not be how I would qualify
Sure.
who is a domesticated, non-feral cat. It would be based on that there are feral cats who truly, they are like wildlife. They're gonna ricochet off the walls. This is, we fought the police department forever about, we were handling these cats who were literally wildlife. They were miserable being in the shelter. That is what TNR was created for, because those cats, truly the most humane thing for them is for them to go back out. They do know how to live in the wild. That's where they grew up. They are wildlife. Then we have the house cats, whether they have a collar on, no collar, whether they have a microchip, they are friendly, they have grown up with people, they are socialized to people. And so I guess to answer if there's truly some confusion about how is this not better, it used to be that either of those cats after the 4 days or 7 days, although a lot of times when we did it, those animal control officers were like, 1 day, it's a feral cat, which might be appropriate, but those animals went to a shelter. Many of those cats are not going to be adopted within an additional 7 days. It would be wonderful if we could adopt all of our animals out in 7 days. Those animals are going to need much longer than 7 days. So beyond the confusion.
But I thought you said the 14 days is bad.
I mean, quite frankly, I don't even understand still after hearing Gary what the 14 days is, but it appears to be that somewhere between day 7 and day 14, you guys say that the cat's yours, but also you'd return the cat, but like also then the cat would be spayed and neutered. If the cat is only staying for 14 days and then it doesn't have the ability to be adopted, that is far worse. That is going to mean the majority of social cats, particularly when the city shelter isn't even open to the public, there's really no chance that those cats are going to make it out. There also are concerns that after you do spay and neuter, you can't just toss a cat out who's high on ketamine. You're going to have to keep that cat for a couple of days beyond that. So I think it's not really clear if the city's saying after day 7, the cat is property of the city and we are going to spay and neuter it and we will give it 7 days to be adopted. That is far worse. If they're saying we're going to actually extend this and cost the city even more to wait 2 weeks for the animal to be reclaimed, and then after day 17, then we'll spay and neuter, and then we'll try to get it adopted without a 7-day time limit, sure. I mean, I'm all for it. If you guys want to do that and hold a cat for even longer for an owner, I mean, it's not
But you're
me having
arguing
to
both
fund
sides of it. You're arguing both sides. We're not holding long enough, we're holding too long. Taxpayers are spending more money holding it too long, we're not holding it long enough. You're arguing both sides of it.
Because I can't tell what the city, let's assume that we're saying after day 7, then the city is going to say that the cat's ours between days 7 and 14. We're going to try to adopt it out. That's what it appears that I'm hearing.
I think they're gonna try to adopt it out after day 1, aren't we?
Right.
Are we waiting 7 days to adopt it out?
I mean,
Are
that
we
would
gonna
be
start that
illegal.
process? Huh?
That would be illegal. I mean, you guys have laws that say that you have to hold that animal for an owner. If I came to you on day 3 and you gave my cat to somebody else, you
No,
can't
I
do
meant-
that.
I understood that we're keeping the cat for 7 days to see whether an owner
Right.
comes, right?
Try to get it back to
We're
its
not
owner.
giving it to just a perfect stranger that says, I like this cat. That there is 7 days, up to 14 days, to see if the true owner comes forth.
What are
Is
you
that right,
doing?
Gary?
If it's an owned cat,
If you don't know if it's an owned cat.
don't. But we'll hold that animal for 7. At the end of 7, it becomes ours to dispose of, however, according to the policy we have put in here. And it will be TNR'd and returned back to the environment, no longer than a 14-day hold.
All right.
So we are holding for 7 days to hope that we find the true owner of the cat.
Yes.
Which would be way worse than what you've had under both Furry Friends and Heinz 57. And I'm sure if you talk
What we previously had was 4 days.
you still do for unowned cats. That's still what the ordinance says.
What is Furry Friends policy?
We hold that animal until it gets adopted. If it's a social cat, we're not putting that cat back out on the street. And that would be every shelter you're going to talk to around here. And if you talk to Heinz 57 about what they were doing too, certainly these cats are not getting 7 days to find a home.
Yeah, but the issue that I think A Heinz 57 was having is they were running out of room.
takes a lot of resource. I mean, I did this for you guys for 10 years.
Right.
While I didn't have the luxury of the TNR ordinance, so I also had to house all the feral cats for you guys. That changed, but that changed about at the time that everything else fell apart with the partnership too. So I can tell you, you have citizens that do not want to see an animal have a 1-week time limit in which they have to find a home, particularly at a shelter that doesn't have open hours to the public. That is we're going back a decade on animal welfare. That is way, way worse than what it was. We had cats from West Des Moines with us for 2 years before they got adopted. We don't put a timeline on it. And when you do put a timeline on it, the animal's the one who suffers.
Britt, what's the maximum time that you had before an owner would come by and pick up their cat, like a known cat with a collar, with a microchip, whatever it was? Would owners sometimes wait 3 months to come?
It's pretty rare, but we've had that situation happen, and that's why I couldn't understand the way 7 to 14 days was. I think what Gary's saying is 7 days is the cutoff. The animal is now owned by the city. Of course, you can decide voluntarily to give that animal back to the person, and for us, it would be discretionary. Why weren't you looking for your animal for 3 months? You know, what exactly happened? Sometimes we will still return to an owner after that 7 days, but we have the right to make that decision and the right to move forward with those elective procedures like spay and neuter and everything. So, yes, it's happened, not very common.
Your Honor, I'd like to call the question on this.
Okay. I guess I just have one more question here, and that is, who is here with furry friends today on this issue? Okay, so 1, 2, so basically everybody here on this issue is with furry friends. Okay, that's all. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate you being here. You know, we've got 3 readings of this ordinance, I believe, so we will continue to look at it and see if there's improvements that can be made. But the question has been called. Please vote.
Four yes, an ordinance to amend the city code of the city of West Des Moines, Iowa, 2024 by amending Title V, Police Regulations, Chapter 3, Animal Control.
Okay, who moved it? I can't even remember who moved it, who
I
seconded it.
don't remember either.
Got to scroll up the
Sorry.
ways. Trevelyan moved, Lote seconded.
Okay,
Move approval.
Second.
all right, please vote.
Four yes.
Okay, item 8, receive, file, and/or refer. We have no items to receive, file, or refer. Item 9, other matters. Are there any other matters that any council person would like to bring up for the good of the order at this time? Okay, hearing none, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.